I saw this charm on Reddit and I thought it was kind of ridiculous. So I brought Echo Gaming on because I wanted to ask his opinion about it. Ladies and gentlemen, today I have Echo Gaming on the video because we're going to be talking about one thing in this game that is maybe the hardest thing to max out in the game. And I'm not talking about legendary gems. I'm talking about charms. How are you doing today, Echo?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. Charms, they can be frustrating, right? I mean, you get lucky, but you don't get as lucky as this guy.
So I've got a question for you here.
Yeah.
Before I show what, because Echo's referencing something I'm about to show you guys real quick. Have you any 10% charms, Echo? Do you have any 10% charms?
No, I think my best one is 4%.
Okay, well,
it's not even on the Barbarian, which I'm using now.
I've got one good row, which isn't even 10%. I got one 8%, and it's on a wizard. But this guy that I wanted to show everybody here today on Reddit posted first all 10% skills. I think JT actually is the first person that had this. But look at this. All 10% on 5 different skills. He's got both of the basic attacks, Bone Spear, Wraith Form, and Bone Spike. So that's a pretty good... That's a pretty good charm right there. And if you actually look at this guy breaks down. He says, each skill stone is 1,000 platinum. 4,000 skill stones are 4 million platinum, which is 400,000 orbs, meaning $7,200. And this guy says it's even more, but people are guessing this is what? How much do you think this costs? $5,000?
5,000 if you're lucky. I guess it depends on luck, right? I mean, there's no guarantee when you're rolling these things. You got to get lucky with it. So I'm also noticing though, like that's not the only thing that's maxed on his account, man. I mean, he's got awakened gear. He's got the gems. He spends some money inside of the game.
So I'm gonna do a couple rows on these charms here while we're talking about them. But I wanted to show you. Okay. Check this out. So what I actually do is the way I row this is did you know, first of all, did you know that they have different names when you actually look at the charms itself? Did you see that they got different names depending upon how many of the upgrades? Yeah, like a mighty one is a barbarian one. So it's got 3 out of... I didn't know this stuff forever. I just noticed that recently too. Like this one's a fine mighty grand charm. Yeah.
I have a fine mighty grand charm myself for my barbarian.
Yeah, there you go. That means you got the all barbarian one or whatever. The unyielding is a crusader. It's kind of cool as well. But my best one I was going to show you here. I'll show you them. This one cost me thousands and thousands and thousands of platinum. 4% Lightning Nova, 4% Ray of Frost, 8% Disintegrate, 2% Scorch, and 2% damage. The high percentage rows are so rare that if I'm building, like, let's say a Crusader gem, it's got all 2% or something, and then I roll like an 8% of a completely different class, that whole charm is now that new class's charm. And I will reroll all of the other spots to it because it's the only way, it seems like to actually get those. But they're exceptionally rare, and they apparently buffed the charms. Remember how many patches ago was it that they apparently buffed the charm drop rate? You remember that?
Oh man, I don't even remember, but I do know I'm getting a lot of charms very quickly. And now I'm actually going to my stash to see. I think maybe I have a 6%. I'm curious. I'm also curious as to what you're going to roll right now. We're going to get some live luck.
We'll see if we get some live luck. So I have a 4% Skeleton Mage, 4% Corpse Lance, 2% Command Golem, 2% Command Skeletons, and 2% Wraith Form. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to... Let's reroll the Command Skeleton with another Command Skeleton, and let's see if we can get a 10%. This part in the game I thought was the most slot machine-like. Look, we got another Command Skeleton. That right there is... I feel like this needs to get changed in the game. This absolutely needs to get changed, where if you are... Because charms are already difficult. If you roll a charm on top of another charm, and you get lucky enough to hit the 1 out of 5 to hit the same one that you're trying to upgrade, it should give you the next available. Like, you should go from a 2 to a 4... or 4 to a 6.
That would make it nice. That would be a great way to upgrade it instead of just the random roll, because then you could at least get some value here. But I mean,
you still have to get the 1 out of 5. Like, you still have to have it hit the same one. It's not like it guarantees it to hit the same one. So it's still going to take a ton of them, because that right there feels bad. The fact that I can hit the Command Skeleton and have it be, that's some BS right there, Echo. I'll tell you what.
I think you should go with the new skill. I think you would have had better luck with that other 2%, just long term.
Yeah, probably. You're right. My bad.
No, that would have been cool though. Like if you could do that, if you got the double and you could add them up, and that would be it'd make it a little bit easier. But you're getting no luck so far, man.
And there's another 2%, so it's a pretty big chunk. The charms are weird though, because charms are both the way that you can make a lot of them. Like you can make a ton of a platinum, especially it's free to play by selling the charms, but it also costs an absolute ton of platinum in order to get these to 10%. So my question for you today is, do you think the charm system's in a good position? Do you think they need to change that? How are you feeling about charms in this game? I feel like this is something no one ever really talks. Like, this is the part of the game that no one ever talks about, is what it feels like.
Yeah, it's because once you get all of the skills, all of your skills for your class, you just stop with charms. Like, no one's trying to do this above because it's just almost unattainable, right? So for me, when I get all my barb charms the same and then I start rolling stuff, I'm just going to sell them for platinum and move that into gems or something like that. The slot machine feel that you have with charms is just, the odds are so stacked against you. Why even spend that platinum on trying? I feel like there's better ways to spend my platinum. I mean,
it's fairly expensive. So I'm wondering how do they make this a better system? You know, do they just increase the drop rates? Do you make it where if you hit the same one, it's guaranteed to go up? How do they make this better? And then if they actually rose the price of how much it costs in terms of platinum, like the ceiling of platinum, is that better or worse change? Because the free-to-play would be able to sell them for higher, but the wells will also need less of them. So do you think that that's enough of an economic balance? I'm kind of wondering.
I don't think that the drop rate will help, because then you still have to, the odds are still awful in your favor. You know, you can get 20 charms a day and it's still going to be a lot of platinum to try and get those rolls, and it's going to just take forever. I liked your idea of adding them together, though. If you're able to duplicate and add, that would be really cool. What about if you buy one from the shop? You know, you buy one from the shop, it could be a skill stone with 4 different skills. But it would be really cool if you could have a chance of as to like more than one of those. Like if that skill stone could have more value, you know, because still you get a skill stone with 1 versus a skill stone with 4, you're still only going to be getting 1 skill from that stone. So
if you get maybe once a week out of the Hilts Trader, you get one that allows you to select, like the Garrett, you know, it has 5 of them or something. It's a random 5, but you get a guaranteed selected or something. I feel like there's a million ways they can go with charm, because this is basically a system that I don't feel like very many people actually use or think about very often. I think it's like, oh, I'm switching classes. Oh, I have a charm. Cool. I guess I'll
pop it in.
Yeah, I guess I'll pop it in. And then you need one for literally every class too. So it's also very expensive if you want to have class changes. So I kind of feel like this is do you think this is the worst system in Diablo Immortal in terms of power mechanic, other than the pay to win stuff? Like, I'm wondering how bad is the charm system in your mind?
It's very gambly, man. It really, at least with the legendary gems, you have more control of what you're getting, right? Like, it's more expensive, but you have more control. Here, it's literally just luck. I mean, I feel like there's not a lot of people complaining about charms. It's kind of just accepted as to being a really, you know, not so great system. I remember one of my videos I made in the beginning when I started Diablo Immortal was, you know, how the charm system works, because it's confusing. Yeah. Like when you first get into it, it's like, what is this even? How does this even work? And it was bad back then. It hasn't changed. It's still bad right now. It could use a little work, but there's not really a lot of attention being brought to it. People kind of accept that this is how the system is. So they, you know, no work is needed, I guess, as far as, as Blizzard sees it.
If it's not broken, don't fix it type situation where there's just, people don't really care about it that much. So, you know, it kind of is what it's just bonus stats. I guess it's not really the end of the world. It's not a big deal or anything, but I feel like the charm system is the most underused, you know, underutilized.
I wouldn't say it's broken. It's working the way they intended it to. It's just that intention is not good. You know, it's just not a good system. Doesn't mean it's a broken system. It's just not a well put together one, in my opinion.
It just feels wasteful to like have a charm and then you roll it and then you get the wrong one. It's like, this charm's completely very, very Korean style MMO, move. You know, it reminds me back in the Maple Story days. You ever play Maple Story where you would be like cubing an item and you would, oh my Lord. It was kind of like this, but on steroids, to be honest. So I should be happy that it's not quite that bad. But anyway, yeah, charm system kind of weird. Here's the 10% one, people. If you want to spend $5,000 to get yourself 10% charms, let me know. Does anyone in the comments have all the way 10% charms? And if you do, we'll show the video. Put it. I'll have a Discord link down there. Bring it into the Discord. Show it to us. How you been, Echo? You got anything else you want to plug here at the end of the video after we're done gabbling? Is that the word for it? About gabbing? About
we're gabbing about charms. No, I don't have anything more, but I think you should have anyone that has a 10% charm should sound off in the comments, because I think that's rare enough. I don't have any across all the charms that I have. So I'd like to see who has even one 10% charm in the comments.
That's true. I don't even know anyone who's got it. I don't think I've seen anyone in the game who's got a 10% charm, but maybe there's, I just haven't. Again, I'm not even looking at that much because no one ever thinks about charms. So don't forget to do your charms, everybody. Everyone forgets about charms, myself included. All right. Subscribe to Echo. It'll be in the pinned comment, as always, down there. Click on one of those links somewhere. And have a great day, everybody.